Love, 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 love. How are you feeling today? How are you doing today? For real, how are you doing today? How was your day? How are you feeling right now? Let's take a moment to check in with yourself before we get started. So we all started on vibe, giving thanks. So much love, y'all. Welcome to Almost Alkaline Podcast. I am your host, Akeem Pierre. And I don't know if you knew this, but the healing is instant. The healing is instant. Once we decide that we want something, once we decide that we're going to heal something, it's done. It's already done. I know y'all be like, well, if it's done, how come I don't see it yet? How come it doesn't actually show up yet? And that's the thing, is the healing is instant, but the work must be continuous. It's like once you make the decision and you decide to heal, the world is going to test you to see, are they serious? Because if they're serious, they're going to act and be as if they are healed. You feel me? Because what we're trying to do, this is what we try to do. We try to be like, oh, if the healing was instant, well, why don't I see it? It's because you ain't doing the things that the healed person would do. You're doing things that is like you used to do. And if you do things like you used to do, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be just like you used to be. If you want the world to change, you got to change. And it starts with you. It starts with us. So when I say the healing is instant, I could break it down or I could build it up a couple different ways. I can break it down and build it up a couple different ways. One way is the healing is instant. And it takes time for us. We just have to be disciplined and take the consistent action to make sure that that healing shows up in the physical. We could look at the healing as the mind. Once you make the choice in your mind, it's done, right? In our mind. And the actual representation of the healing actually showing up is like our body. And our body is what takes its time to make the change. Because imagine your body just changed like that. It would be, I don't know if we'd be able to deal with that. So there's certain rules on earth that we have to follow. So if the mind is the healing is instant, the healing, once we make a conscious choice, then it's done. But our body is also like the subconscious mind. Right? So we look at it like that. The mind, instant. The body, it takes time. The mind is your conscious mind. And then your body is your subconscious mind. The mind or the healing that's instant is in the invisible realms. It's in the spiritual realms. And the body or what takes time is in the physical realms, guided by the laws on the physical realms. Right? And we could look at it even more a couple different ways if we're looking at it as the conscious and the subconscious mind, right? What we don't realize is if we try to live in our conscious mind, it's going to be very challenging because for the most part, each of us is only in our conscious mind for 5% of our whole day. And the rest of our day is being spent in our unconscious mind. Right? Our mind is the now and our body is our programs. Our subconscious is our programs. So our subconscious, if we're in the subconscious mind, which is 95%, we're running off of our programs. We're running off of the things that we learned growing up. From age 0 to 7, we are a sponge. We're basically in hypnosis, just absorbing anything. We're just watching around. We're looking around and we're just absorbing everything around us. And that's how we learn from 0 to 7. Right? So we have all of these programs that we're operating on, even from 7 up until now. How do you teach? How do you teach the subconscious mind? How do you reprogram the subconscious mind? It's either through repetition or through hypnosis, or getting your brain into a theta brainwave state. Right? So we're in this position where The healing is instant. We make that choice with our conscious mind to be healed, to create something, to manifest something with our conscious mind. But the issue is that we're only in our conscious mind for 5% of the day. 5% of our thoughts are conscious thoughts. The other 95% is the subconscious mind, is our programs. So what does that mean for us? If we're on this healing journey, when we're on this healing journey, when we're on this creation journey, it means that we need to learn how to reprogram. We need to learn how to get out of our conscious mind and not rely on our conscious mind and rely on our programs that we have in our physical body. Our body is a record of the past. And for example, when I look at someone, depending on their posture, I know what they've been through. Depending on how they stand and how they carry themselves physically, I know what they do on a daily basis. I know how they care for themselves. Our body is a record of the past. And our subconscious mind is also that record of the past. So we got to reprogram if we're looking to heal. Or else we're just going to stay in the same path and the same course. And that's what I was talking about in the last episode, is going through that change, which is super challenging. That transition period is not easy. And partly is because we're trying to do it all in the conscious mind. And we may get mad at ourselves. You forgot. Or, why aren't you doing this yet? Why didn't you make that change? Why aren't you here yet? And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. But the thing is, we're putting pressure on ourselves, but it's a losing battle that we're fighting if we're only trying to work with the conscious mind. So we got to start to reprogram our being. And the reprogramming of the being is like creating new roads in your brain to connect different ways of thinking. Your neural pathways is like laying down new roads. It takes time. In Vancouver, I see construction out in front of my warehouse, and it's been there for a couple months just to fix this road and create a new lane. It takes a couple months. And for us, it's no different. If we want to reprogram, if we want to recreate those neural pathways, then it's going to take us some time. And like I said earlier, what are the two ways to reprogram our subconscious mind? How do we do it? Because I believe in this, because I witnessed it. I've done it. So I know I can do this. I know it works. And I know that y'all can do it too, because I've had people around me do it. I've seen people do it as well. The two ways is, one, through repetition. That's why it's affirmations. That's why love, 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 love every time. Love, 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 blessed love, give thanks. I don't just say it because I like to say it. I do like to say it. I really do. But for me, it's repetition of love, 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 love. So every time I say that, it reminds me of love. Every time I say that, it's like if I'm not feeling in the vibration of love, there's a little bit of disharmony within me. And I'm like, let me get into that vibration. If I'm not feeling love and I say blessed love to someone, right? If I'm feeling mad at someone, say they did something to me, I was mad. And then I go to them and I say blessed love. I'm not going to go blessed love. Well, you did this. You know what I mean? I'm like, blessed love, how are you? Give thanks. And then from there, we interact in a certain way. And that's the power of repetition, right? Repetition, one, consistent actions. And that's why once you make the choice, you got to do the consistent actions, because that consistent actions is taking the conscious mind, which is in the now, and consistently repeating an action to help reprogram the subconscious mind. And that's how the healing instant happens to manifest itself in the physical, right? So repetition and being under hypnosis, or being in a theta wave state, which is slightly below consciousness, like slightly below alertness. And when we look at that, it's like you can go and get someone to hypnotize you. You can go to a place where you're getting sleepy. I've never actually done hypnosis, so I don't know what they actually do, but you can go and get someone to help you do that. But there are 2 different times throughout the day, every single day, where you are in the theta brainwave state, where you are in a hypnosis and you get put into hypnosis naturally. You know what those 2 times are of your day? One, right when you wake up. So right as when you're just like waking up, you hear your alarm maybe, and your eyes are just starting to open. That's one of the most important parts of our day. That 10 to 15 seconds, that 20 seconds. Sometimes it may last longer, but we're just almost awake. That's when we're in a theta brainwave state. And then on the other side, at the end of our day, when we're going to bed, when you're dozing off, you may be in a car, you're about to rest. You're kind of like going like that. And maybe someone says something to you like, what'd you say? That's another theta brainwave state. And while we're in the theta brainwave state, we're under suggestion. We are susceptible to what is in our environment and what we're taking in and what we're hearing. So how can we utilize this? Right? One is repetition. Right? So we can make repetition and the theta brainwave state come together. And what I do is in the evenings, I play uplifting things that I want to help reprogram myself with. So in the evening times before I go to bed, it started for me. I did this just naturally. It just happened where I used to listen to Alan Watts before going to bed. I would just listen to Alan Watts because it just made me feel good. I was like, I wanted to absorb everything, all of this knowledge. And I started to listen to Alan Watts before I go to bed. And I started to realize that what I was listening to from Alan Watts was actually becoming a part of my life, a part of my day. Right? So you could play different things and you could record your own affirmations for yourself. You can record different things that you want to come forward, and you could just play that right before you go to bed or as you're going to bed, and that's going to seep into your subconscious mind. And over time, we're going to start to see that reprogramming, that shift in our being. And then when we wake up, this one's a challenging one. I can't say this is like the easiest one to do. But for example, yesterday, I woke up and I was like, felt like a little quick pressures of the day. I felt a little bit of the pressures of what I had to do in the day. Not saying this was like a big 10, 20 seconds. This was like an instant wake up. I had that little feeling. And I said, love, love, love. Give thanks for this uprising. Give thanks for this beautiful day. Another opportunity to bring value to this world. Another opportunity to bring forward my greatness. Another opportunity to meet and connect with people. Another opportunity to be alive. Give thanks. And it shifted my whole day. It shifted my whole day. And it's for us to really take ownership of those parts of our day and to take ownership of repetition in our lives is going to help us. So once we decide we're healed, we're confident we're healed because we know that we're going to be able to keep up the consistent actions as if I was healed, because I am. You feel me? So then you just become very confident in your power to heal. And when I say heal, I don't mean like I'm ill, dis-ease. That's one thing, but another way is just manifesting and creating and bringing something forward. So once we understand these principles, our confidence of getting things done is going to be powerful. So when we do have an obstacle, a challenge that comes in our way, we're not stressed. We're no longer stressed. Ooh, you're feeling good because I know how to deal with you. It doesn't matter what or anything that's in my way. I know how to deal with you because I know how to reprogram my mind. And that's like one of the most powerful things in the world on this planet. And some quote that I heard that relates to this pretty well is, if you're on the pathway to heaven, you're in heaven. Or the pathway to heaven is heaven. Or as we talk about the journey to heaven is heaven. And that means when you're on your journey to a certain destination, And that destination, say that's heaven, right? And just that place of feeling good, blissful, and just that good vibes, high vibration. When you're on the destination, like, I'm going there, right? You don't wait till you get there to feel like you're there. Oh my gosh. I don't know if y'all take that in. You don't wait till you get there to feel like you're there. So that means this whole time when you're working, you're hustling, you're doing your repetitions, your affirmations, just going through your day-to-day hardships, challenges, obstacles, blessings, ups and downs. It doesn't matter. You are in that feeling, that state that you're already there. And that's how the healing becomes instant, because the feeling that you have when you were healed, you get to bring that back into the present moment. And that present moment, now you feel like you're healed. And you just extend that until it actually shows up in the physical. And it's that simple. The healing is instant. And this is a life, I don't like to say life hack, but this is a way that we make life so much more enjoyable. Straight up. This is how people ask me, like, Akeem, how are you so happy all the time? Why are you always at such a high level of energy? And it's just because I know that I can figure things out. And I know that I don't have to be there to feel there. I know that I can bring anything from the future into my present feeling. And if you think this is like kind of like a harder concept to grasp, just think about a time when you got a call from someone, and say it was you're waiting for to be accepted for a job, let's say, right? You're waiting to be accepted to be at this job, and you can't wait to go to this job site and begin your work, right? And then what happens is once they call you and they say, hey, you've made it to the next step, we'd like to have you come in for an interview with our hiring manager. You already feel as if you're there. You don't actually have to be in at the job to feel that. If they tell you've been hired, instantly you feel like you're already working at the job, even though you haven't even started. When someone calls you, like when you have your crush, someone you like calls you, and you feel like they don't even tell you, like, I want to get together. They just called you. And then that makes you feel special, as if you're already there. There's different times where let's do another one when it comes to money, where you haven't even got the money yet, but someone called you and said, I have this money for you. You already feel as if you have the money, right? And that's the kind of confidence that we got to have on this healing journey. And that makes the journey to heaven, heaven. Where it's like, people be asking, like, why are you so excited? Why are you so happy? It's like, yo, I just had one of the hardest days of my life, to be honest. Someone asked me, like, how are you doing? Like, when I asked at the beginning, how are you doing? Like, seriously, how are you doing? When someone asks me first, I'll say, I'm blessed, give thanks. Because that's my baseline vibration. I'm blessed, give thanks. But someone asks me, how are you really feeling? Or someone I'm really connected with, be like, yo, I had a hard day. Today was a challenging day. I went through a couple hours in the afternoon where I found myself in a low vibration, and I'm not, I don't like doing that, but this is a part of the journey. This is, and we can just go like that. But it's like, I'm not always in this level of feeling good. I feel sad. I feel down, and that's the wholeness. That's the beauty. But it's just the ability to know that I can, I heard this yesterday, actually, someone said this, is I'm okay with not being okay, because I know how to get out of this, or I know that this here, like, what is that? This too shall pass, or, this too shall pass. Like, I know it's going to be moved past, right? So if we can incorporate this into our lifestyle, and if we could just take that, and this is science here, the subconscious and the conscious mind, this is science. This is proven through science. Right? The reprogramming of our nervous system. This is science. Right? So it's not something super spooky. We could get spooky with it, but we don't really need to. This is just science. This is just facts. This is grounded in reality, that we are creators. We have this power to create. And how do we tap into that power to create? we tap into our subconscious mind, which is running the most of our life, right? And then from there, we're unstoppable. Anything we want to do, we're going to do it. Anytime someone wants to get us stressed, we don't get stressed. I'm not going to be stressed off of this. You know what I mean? Sometimes people get bothered by that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to bother you with positivity. You know what I mean? So much love, y'all. Let's look into this and start to practice this and implement this into our day-to-day lives. The healing is instant. Creating is instant. Manifestation is instant. Producing is instant. And when we talk about manifesting, when we talk about creating, producing, that's one of the most powerful things that we can do when it comes to spirituality. And that's taking something from the invisible, remember the conscious mind, taking something from the invisible and turning it into something visible. Taking something that can't be seen, touched, felt, into something tangible. That is spirituality. That's tapping into the spirit realm and bringing it into the physical. That's one of the most powerful things we could do, y'all. So let's master this. I'm still on this journey. I'm almost there. And I'm going to be almost there for the rest of my life. Because once I learn how to master it at one level, I'm going to get to the next level. And then it's going to keep going. And that's the beauty of the journey. But what about the journey? The journey to heaven is heaven. So I'm here in heaven, heaven on earth. Give thanks, y'all. Sending y'all much love, much balance. Give thanks for tuning in. I'm going to catch y'all on the next episode of Almost Alkaline Podcast. Ja! Rastafaro.